Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kyle Edward with This Is Drive, and today we're going to be reviewing the 2019 Chevrolet Bolt. Now, the Bolt has an all-electric range of about 238 miles, has a starting price of around $37,000, which is actually very affordable, especially when we consider all of the other electric car options out there. Now, what the Bolt really does have going for it here is that pure range, right? So another car which is very comparable to this would be the Nissan Leaf, and that really can't touch it as far as range goes. Now, of course, Tesla's Model 3 is out as well, which has a pretty good range, a little bit more than the Bolt. However, it just is not as affordable when you consider everything that you get on a Bolt, comparing it to the Model 3. Not to mention those are awfully hard to come by. So what we have here with the Bolt 2 is a unique styling from Chevrolet. It looks like something that is out of a European movie, something that would be flying through the streets of London or something to that effect. And it makes it very convenient to drive it in the city, which of course is where this car is going to be driven the most out of really anywhere. But also with that range right here, we're in Napa Valley. We came from San Francisco, and it's plenty of range, right? Which is really a big deal. It's finally an electric car that has a lot of practicality to it, which is fantastic. Now, I really do, the styling is unique. It's definitely interesting. I really do love the large front windshield. It is, it makes it very roomy feeling inside. It's very easy to see out of all of the different areas. Very few blind spots, which is fantastic. We have, of course, the Bolt EV markings on the side to signify that, hey, you are in fact driving a Bolt, which is an all-electric vehicle. The charging area right here opens up. We have the standard charge, and then also we have fast charging, right, which can get us up to 80% very quickly, which is very convenient. But yeah, overall, I think the Bolt has, a pretty nice style to it on the exterior. It's definitely different looking, and yeah, it gets the job done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on inside, and we're going to check out the tech and some of the interior styling points. Now, on the interior of the Bolt, it's really unlike any other Chevrolet vehicle out there, and that is one thing that I really have come to appreciate about it. Now, we have some very unique materials here on the interior, which we don't often see on many other Chevrolet products. So with this car, obviously, we're trying to really exude an environmentally friendly, open, airy feel, and they've definitely done a good job with that. So looking at the materials more up close, we have this plastic right here, but it's done in a unique way with a cool, funky pattern, which is nice. It leads nicely into this design element right here, which also has an LED light strip in it. So at nighttime when you're cruising around, it's a nice blue light strip. Then coming up here, obviously we have the rest of the dashboard, which has some curves and angles in it, which can, gives us a nice little something different to look at. So it's not just completely flat, it's not blah, which I definitely appreciate. And it's also a very open, airy car. As I was talking about on the exterior, it's a very large front windshield. That leads us to, let a lot of nice natural light in. They've also done a very good job minimizing blind spots in the vehicle by adding these side windows right here, which really open things up. And again, so we're driving around the city a lot. It's very easy to see pedestrians and bicyclists. But then leading also to more of that open, airy feeling, we have a very large open pass-through right here with lots of storage space down here. We have a phone holder. We also have an outlet, right, to charge your devices right here. 2 cup holders. We have wireless charging for your phone back here by the shifter. Then a relatively small center console, but that's not a problem considering all of the extra storage space that we have in the door panels and down here. Now, one thing that I don't totally love is this gear shifter. It's a little bit annoying to put it in reverse. You have to go up and then over to the left, which can be a little bit inconvenient at times, but then to go to drive, it's a straight back. And then of course park, you press the P. One thing here that is another nice feature is the camera system that we have. We have a bird's eye view, which is very helpful when parking. Now obviously this isn't a big vehicle, so parking is really never that difficult, but obviously always nice to have an extra set of eyes in the sky. And then of course we just can go back to P just like that, which leads us here to my favorite General Motors media system. Very easy to use, integrated with Android and Apple CarPlay. As you can see, it's a nice large screen, so when you have any of those options going, it looks great. Now we have standard system right here. This is the home screen. For instance, if we want to look at all of the charging settings,
We can go in there right there. We can see how efficiently we've been driving and how we can change to make that more positive. And then we also, again, have the energy. We can look at the flow, the charging information, all kinds of different options in here. And the screen's very responsive. And yeah, it's a very good system. I really like it a lot, and they should use this setup more in their vehicles. Then, of course, we have standard, audio settings. We have Sirius XM radio, and then all of, the standard things that you've come to know. We of course have the phone menu, right? We can do Bluetooth, and we also have our heated seat button right here with 3 stages. We have our air conditioning right here. We have our auto mode. There's heat, there's AC, and then of course we can also adjust the controls manually right here. So for instance, we can make it really cold, blast maximum air. And then right here, of course, our volume controls. The audio system is a Bose. It's top trim level that we're on here. Sounds really good. Nice bass, surprisingly good sound system. Coming over to the steering wheel, it's a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, standard across a lot of Chevrolet products. It's also seen in the Malibu. Yeah, good buttons, heated steering wheel, which is fantastic. I've actually used it a few times in the morning. Favorites right here. There's the regen brake button right here on the left-hand side where the volume controls would normally be on the Chevrolet. And then we have the volume controls here on the right side behind the steering wheel, but there's a nice regen paddle, which I'll get a little bit more into as we're driving. And then, pretty simple standard menu right here for that. Looks good. Nice and clean. Looks very good. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get this thing on the road and talk a little bit more about how it drives. Now, the Bolt is an excellent city car, and so that's why we've brought it here to downtown San Francisco, just to kind of demonstrate and talk a little bit more about how it drives. So obviously, when it comes to the Bolt being an all-electric car with its regenerative braking, things of that nature, very convenient, again, for city driving, as you really hardly ever actually use the brakes to stop the car between these two different methods. So first, we have L, which acts as a high regen mode, so it really acts as like a one-pedal driving experience. What I mean by that is, as you're on the gas pedal, as it's applying power, then the car acts obviously like a standard vehicle moving forward, but as soon as you lift off on the acceleration pedal, not actually a gas pedal since it's electric, but the full regen mode starts to come into play. So right now I'm on the pedal and I'm coming off, and you can feel it. Like it's slowed all the way down from 23 miles per hour to about 12 very quickly. So additionally is you come off of that, if you want even more stopping power, there's a little paddle on the left side of the steering wheel here, which also adds additional regen to the wheels. Now, you can also drive it in standard drive, and then just use the paddle as well, which is how I tend to like to drive it. I found that at sometimes, it can be a little aggressive in the full regen mode down here with the shifter. But again, very convenient for city driving. And that's where we're also going to see the maximization of efficiency in an electric car at the lower speed stop and go. It's excellent. Again, right now we have pretty much a full charge with 214 miles, so we can hit the highway, go on a little trip. I took this car from San Francisco to Napa round trip without any issues. Plenty of range, had the air conditioning on as well. It was just a great thing. Now, as far as, how quiet it's, very quiet inside this car. The cabin is, does a good job of keeping the road noise out. And then, steering's moderately responsive, but we're not exactly going for anything sporty here, so I wouldn't get, too excited about any type of handling, but, it does what it needs to do. Acceleration is quite good. Obviously, again, with all electric, we get 100% torque right away, and, it can be a little fun. It can be a little fun. Obviously, it's not a super fast car, but hey, the all electric makes this thing like a little bit of rocket in the city. We also have forward collision warning as well. So if you're accelerating into something and it senses that you're approaching it too quickly, that will obviously alert you. So some good safety features, blind spot monitoring as well. So yeah, definitely a wealth of features like that. We have side curtain airbags as well to keep us safe when driving. So, but yeah, overall, again, Chevy Bolt, excellent car. As far as the category goes, lots of range, decent driving experience. Again, steering's not terribly responsive, but again, it has smaller tires, smaller wheels, and it's a pretty tall vehicle for what it is. So again, nothing crazy in the handling department. Accelerates from 0 to 60 in roughly the 7.4 second range, which again is obviously very good for a car in this segment. But yeah, that's what we have to say about it. Definitely a strong contender in this segment.
Overall, the 2019 Chevrolet Bolt is a very confident electric vehicle and is, I feel, often overlooked and underrated. Not to mention, we also have a nice amount of rear space here for stuff. We have 3 backpacks here. As you can see, we obviously have more room for other things as well. Plus, the rear seats can fold down. You can fit plenty of suitcases back there, groceries, a few extra kids, whatever you may need. But yeah, overall, I feel like you should definitely take a close look at the Bolt, as its long electric range and relatively reasonable starting price is a big selling point. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed our review on the 2019 Chevrolet Bolt. Don't forget to look in the description for additional information, not to mention our full written review on our website as well. Thanks for watching.